Hello and welcome to Business Today presents Andhra Pradesh 360 from Bharat to the world. As part of the World Economic Forum 2026, Business Today, in collaboration with the Andhra Pradesh government, brings you this special podcast series that spotlights the state's investment ecosystem as well as features leadership perspectives and deep dives into the key growth sectors shaping India's future and Andhra Pradesh's global ambitions. In this episode, we focus on electronics, semiconductor manufacturing, and a sector that is critical for not only India but also Andhra Pradesh. Joining us on this special episode is Mr. Jasbir Gujral, the Managing Director of Syrma SGS Technology. So many thanks for joining us here.
Good afternoon. Yeah.
First off, of course, we'll begin by getting to know a little bit about your company and as far as this sector is concerned, semiconductor and manufacturing. And how do you look at Andhra Pradesh really as a state? How do you look at its policies as well as ease of doing business? Give us a sense of that first off.
Okay. Now, we are a 40-year-old company, been in the electronics when electronics was not the buzzword. So we have seen the days when electronics was sort of on the back burner, the government scheme of things. Fortunately, post 2014 and then 2018, speed and focus of the government in electronics has really picked up. And it's because electronics is one of the most critical, sectors in the global economic space. And in India, after fuel, oil, electronics account for the second biggest spent on foreign exchange. So it was an opportunity driven by necessity and long-term vision of the government. We are fortunate to be present at this moment in this sector. The electronic sector, if I speak for the electronic sector as a whole, has struggled for last 30, 40 years when it didn't get any government support. Fortunately, things have changed. And today we are at a cusp where in the last 5, 7 years, India has made a place for itself in electronic assembly, which is the first sort of a baby step to conquer the ecosystem of electronics. So you start from assembly, go back into manufacturing of parts, components, and then the basic materials. So the first step is almost done. I think we have built a space for ourselves, the industry as such, and Syrma SGS in particular. And I think we have a very clear future growth path for the electronics industry. What drove us to Andhra Pradesh? Before Andhra Pradesh, we are present in 7 states in the country and in Germany. We have a factory in Germany since 2008. When we decided to embark on manufacturing of bare PCB boards and copper clad laminates, and it is by far the biggest investment which the group is doing, something like 1,500 plus crores. We scouted various states, and all states were sort of proactive in attracting investments. What drew us to Andhra Pradesh, I think, was the very dynamic leadership of the IT minister. And more important than that, I think the DNA of the Andhra Pradesh government, which is personified by the chief minister. As a guy, as a person who's driven by business, encouraging business growth, creating jobs, creating employment opportunities. So the fiscal set of incentives is important. I'm not saying they're not important. They are very important. But then they are for a finite period. They will see a sunset clause in 4 years, 5 years, 7 years. What is more important is what is the DNA of the government towards the industry. And I think in this, the present government in Andhra Pradesh, I think it scores much better compared to other governments. Not that other governments are not doing enough, but it's first among the equals. And when we met the government officials and the minister, we had some reservations about certain issues. We were very pleasantly surprised that in less than 2 months, whatever assurances, verbal assurances were communicated to us were formally announced by the Honorable Chief Minister in the CIA summit, I think in November 14, November something in Visakhapatnam. So
Right.
that's what drew us to Andhra Pradesh.
Right. So thank you so much for giving us an overarching view of what the company does. As such, you've been, of course, a marquee investor. Syrma SGS does make printed circuit boards as well as copper clad laminate. That is the manufacturing opportunity that you're looking at in Andhra Pradesh as well. Just walk us through the investments that you're talking about as far as setting up shop in Andhra Pradesh is concerned and the whole semiconductor value chain as well. How is that going to give a fillip to your company as well?
See, the investments which we are planning in Andhra Pradesh are spread over a period of 3 to 5 years. Between now or maybe October of 25 to December of 26, we would be investing approximately 40-45 million dollars, which is about 400 crore rupees. And 27, 28 would come the balance investments. We are starting off with the PCB plant in the first go, which is between now and December 26, to be followed by copper clad laminate, HDI flex rigid PCBs, and an EMS plant. So we are also putting up an EMS plant in Andhra Pradesh in this complex of 25-26 acres to have an integrated supply chain of the bare PCBs, copper clad, and EMS, in which we have been present for the last 40 years. And we cater to a wide spectrum of industries, including automotive, railways, electric mobility, telecom, industrial, IoT, and defense, medtech. So it will be a integrated complex in about 4 years from now, which will have the bare PCB, the CCL, and the EMS facility.
So as far as your line of work is concerned, of course, there is copper clad laminate manufacturing facility that will boost as far as electronic manufacturing is concerned and also the semiconductor ecosystem in the state. Looking ahead, what are the opportunities that you foresee as far as the state of Andhra Pradesh is concerned?
See, I think going forward, once the basic companies come in, a cluster approach is what the minister communicated to us was that they're targeting. And when I say a cluster approach, that a lot of PCB companies come in one geography so that the ecosystem of the supply chain gets developed in that place. It's only one company and then all companies spread across different states. The ecosystem takes time to develop. But if a host of companies in a particular vertical come in to put shop in a particular geography, then each vertical has its sort of niche issues of supply chain. So then the supply chain becomes much more robust when there's a cluster approach. So I think going forward, I have heard and read that a lot of PCB companies are putting up shop in Andhra Pradesh, especially around the area where we are putting up Nadupeta. I think going forward in 3 to 5 years, we see that as becoming a hub for PCB manufacturing. And once a hub is created, then it acts as a magnet to attract future investments also.
So the Semiconductor Conclave is an annual affair held by the Indian government every year, and of course, semicon is one of your key growth areas as well. What are the opportunities that you are looking at in Andhra Pradesh as far as expanding into advanced manufacturing, OSAT, and other semiconductor opportunities that are concerned?
See, OSAT and other semiconductor opportunities we internally have put certain red lines that we need to have a credible partner. And we are in discussions with some companies, but nothing concrete is there on the table today. I think once we have a credible partner who is giving us futuristic technology, there is no point in taking legacy technologies, which is a finite lifetime from now. The crux is that you enter into futuristic technologies. And that's where we are in negotiations, but nothing concrete on the table today. As and when we decide, I think Andhra Pradesh does offer some unique advantages of being near to the port, water supply being not a challenge, the common effluent treatment plants being provided by the government. I think it becomes one of the natural choices among the 3-4 states which are encouraging semicon. Gujarat is another one, Orissa is another one, and Andhra would obviously be one of the front runners in this.
So
I
to your
can't
mind,
commit today till I have a sort of an agreement with a technological partner today.
all right. Just rephrasing the question for you, as far as semiconductors concerned, I did mention about ATMP, OSAT, PCB fabrication. But apart from that, what is the one thing that really stands out about Andhra Pradesh for you? And would you also be looking at some of the R&D partnerships in this state as far as your business is concerned, since you're setting up shop there?
Yeah, you see, the single feature which I said stood out was the DNA of the leadership. That it's not, it's the proven leadership over the last 10-15 years, where the present chief minister built the erstwhile undivided Andhra Pradesh and Hyderabad especially into an IT hub. And their very proactive approach and the proactive approach of the bureaucracy. So it's not only the proactive approach at the top, but it has to percolate down to the sort of the operating teams, where we found it to be very, very proactive and sort of giving solutions or suggesting solutions to problems or issues which we raised. Going forward, we would, in any case, I think if we decide to put up a R&D center and all that, not necessarily in Naidupeta, but in Vizag and other things, those are the hubs which are being created by the government. And with a lot of data centers coming into this state, it is a natural requirement that the EMS companies will also have a footprint in this state. So I'm very confident that going forward, our investments and exposure in Andhra Pradesh would expand, and we are growing very rapidly. So it is not that if we expand in Andhra Pradesh, the other states are not there. So we have a pan-national footprint and present in now 7 states. So each state would get its share of investments, but Andhra would take the cake.
Right, so one final question. If you had to put a number to the opportunity that you have in Andhra Pradesh for your company, particularly Syrma, in the space of printed circuit boards as well as copper clad laminate manufacturing, what's that one big number that you're looking at incrementally going forward? How big is the opportunity for you?
We are planning to invest about 1,500-1,600 crores in the next 3 years. So that's the investment plan on the table today. Beyond that, I can't comment a figure because it has to be approved by my board and we have to have a concrete plan. But one thing is sure, that as and when we decide to further expand the operations, not only in PCB, but in other verticals also, Andhra Pradesh would surely stand a better chance or a good chance to attract that investment. And as I said, we are expanding very rapidly. We are expanding in Tamil Nadu. We are expanding in Maharashtra, in Pune. So each state would get, but Andhra, I think it has attracted the biggest investment of our group till now. And I think this thing should continue in the future also.
Well, sir, thank you so much for giving us your time and speaking to Business Today. Wishing you all the very best for the next growth phase for Syrma as well.
Thank you very much, and a pleasure speaking to you.